So, I had just explained to you that
Yes.
I want to see you uh, basically be proactive, more proactive in thinking about what you want to say and how you're going to transition and come back
Hmm.
into into the cast, or like picking up after your color caster, being able to set them up,
Hmm.
but also having a plan, a storyboard set from the get go. And whether you set that up before the cast begins, or during the draft phase, or after when there's like a technical break for spectator delay, either or works. So it's
Hmm.
just. And then I think the other big thing is that I told you, less is more. Less is
Yes.
more. Right. So, okay.
Welcome, here, mate. And I use as much.
Hey, they're trying their best out here, Rav.
Let's skip forward.
The
a
winners
bit.
go to finals. That is
But going point, I was talking to XT before as well. I think he was saying he was confident in the series. He was saying that he does wish everybody luck, but he also mentioned about how they had a ton up their sleeve based on what they've been practicing and based on the different games they've played as well. And I
Maybe
gotta
just me,
say,
but I can't hear the
TBA have not yet failed to surprise us.
What? Did you say something?
Maybe just, but I can't hear the VOD for some reason. I don't know why.
You can't hear it?
No, sir.
How's that?
no, they really haven't. I mean, pulling out things from Swain bot in game number 1 to counter the entire dive
Can you hear that?
Perfect. Thank you.
composition that CCG had pulled out to pulling out an entirely different draft in game number 2. This pick and poke setup that they went for with the Jin, with the Zoe. Definitely a different take for them, and they look just as comfortable on that as they did with the slightly more stylish picks, the more atypical picks coming through from game number 1 into game number 2. So, the depth is there, and XT, you can tell he's not lying. He knows the faith in his players. He knows exactly what they're capable of, and he's going to put them and hold them to that standard.
Yeah, they most definitely. And I do have to say, though, on a quick note, both of these drafts and both of the games from the side of TBA, they were two completely different drafts. That's the most amazing part. No necessarily real recycled picks or really comfort things that TBA is staying on. It's just because it's something different. So clearly they have a lot of deep pockets, and we'll see that right now as we go into pro draft for game number 3, getting it started off with the Akali.
Exactly, and with the
Hmm.
sides being sides being matched up as they were on game number 1,
We'll see that part. Yeah, they most
the depth is there, and XT, you can tell he's not lying. He knows the faith in his players. He knows exactly what they're capable of, and he's going to put them and hold them to that standard.
Yeah, they most definitely. And I do have to say, though, on a quick note, both of these drafts and both of the games from the side of TBA, they were two completely different drafts. That's the most amazing part. No necessarily real recycled picks or really comfort things that TBA is staying on. It's just because it's something different. So clearly they have a lot of deep pockets.
Yeah, I was just stumbling and bumbling to try to make a point and finding it halfway through.
Ravish, tell me, are you familiar with tongue twisters?
I most definitely am.
You are.
I am, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, unfortunately I haven't mentioned too, because I came into this cast as well without really a ton of warm up either, so that was a genuine thing on my part for not being properly prepped as well. So yeah,
Well, here. Let me throw a little counteracting point question to you. So,
yes, sir.
I'm assuming that normally, you try to warm up before a cast, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let's say you don't have a cast, and be honest, how often do you warm up on a daily basis? And if you don't, that's completely fine.
Honestly, on a daily basis, I do not. No, it's on days I have cast is usually when I, warm up,
All
drink
right.
tea, so on and so forth. Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This is something that especially when you first start out. This is something that you might not consider and think about, but it is good to do some type of practice and warm up. It doesn't have to be a full cast. You don't have to like go and do a game every single day, but you should dedicate some time to warming up your voice. For me, I do it in the shower because there's steam. Steam kind of opens up your lungs and your throat. Let your vocal folds breathe. So sometimes I'll do tongue twisters that I memorized in my head. Sometimes I'll do vocal runs because I come from a music background. I'm not expecting you to, start going in the shower and then being like, oh. Like if you have that music background, you can go on that. But most importantly is practicing diction, enunciation, clarity in your voice, making sure that your consonants do not get lost in your speech. Taking time, relaxing yourself, keeping yourself composed. It doesn't necessarily mean you sacrifice your personality and your uniqueness and your energy and the way you talk, but just always, if we think about Avatar, we look at Aang. You want to be like a waterbender, right? You want to let things flow naturally. And so when you practice, obviously you can like kind of start with slow speeds, ramp up to faster speeds. But whenever you ramp up to faster speeds, the idea is not to get faster. Your goal is not to get faster. Your goal is to maintain clarity across a variety of speeds. And that's something that honestly can be confusing and can bait a lot of play-by-play casters because, they have this idea that in order to impress people, in order to make people like think that they're like super good, they got to be able to talk fast. They got to be like auctioneers, like buy one here. We're looking for the Akali onto the back line, looking for more, getting the damage down, and all da 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 da. No, I don't fucking care about that. That's cool, but it's all flash, Just, I will always appreciate a caster that has, even if their calls are quote unquote slower and they say less, if it's clear, if the emotion is appropriate, the energy level is appropriate, the ramping, the dynamics of that call is much more. So just keep that in mind. And, if you have tongue twisters that like literally what you want to do is you want to stand up. And I know the camera's it's gonna be hard to see it. So, and I can't raise it up. So here, let me back this shit up real quick. But you stand up, and when you're breathing, you want to feel your stomach as you breathe in and then breathe out. You want to feel like you're doing ab workouts, like your core is engaged, because casting, much like singing and much like any other athletic sport, is a whole body experience. And even if we're sitting, which is why sometimes it's harder to get just of a good cast as it is standing, it's because it's harder to engage your core while sitting, because then you have to proactively be sitting up, shoulders straightened back, and you need to somehow be engaging that core, because that's where all of your breath is coming from. Because if you're slumped like this, if you're hunched over like this, your resonance chamber, the breath is only coming from your chest and maybe your head.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, yeah, no, you're 100% right. That was one of the main key things that I actually learned and used to practice a ton when I was getting speech therapy for my stutter. It was like that was the main thing that the therapist drilled through me was like how to belly breathe and like focusing and taking more time to enunciate what you're saying. You don't have to say everything all at once, but the main thing is what you're saying it right. So yeah, that was one of the main key things from there. But no, yeah, 1,000%.
okay. So if this is something you are aware of, then tell me what you're planning on doing once we're done with this VOD review, and then what you want to do for yourself moving forward. It's all on you to do it, right? But
Yes, sir.
what do you feel like then is the best course of action for you to do?
Oh, well, first and foremost, that right there is being able to go out there and practice my voice and like genuinely warming up every gosh darn day.
It doesn't
Like,
even have to
it's,
be that long. Just like literally, guys, just taking 20 minutes a
Yeah.
day, just doing that. And that's why I said I like doing it in the shower, because boom, I'm in the shower, I'm taking care of myself, I'm lathering myself down, and then I'm just hitting you with the like just whatever. Topeka,
Yeah.
Topeka, Topeka, bodega, 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 Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka, 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 bodega, 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 Topeka, bodega. Like just 20 minutes.
That was impressive.
20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day every.
Walk says you would have mechanically you could have ended your point and go for the handoff.
Oh yeah, sure. And that's I was not focused on that, but Will is right. That is.
Like I said, we'll see that right now as you go into pro draft for game number 3, getting it started off with the Akali.
Exactly, and with the sides being matched up as they were on game number 1, Crystal Cave Gaming on the blue side and TBA back on the red side. We'll have to see how different the drafts from game 1 to game 3 pan out, because the bans are expected to maybe have changed just a little bit here. We can see the first ban away, as it has been the entire series, has been the Akali. Taking that away from Young is going to stay consistent, whether this is the last game or we go to 5 games. There is a 0% chance that he gets this pick.
Like, yeah, I can't imagine he necessarily does at all, though, but it would be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, speaking of young mid, seeing 4 mid lane blends come out back to back to back here between all of these teams. You really follow back for Crystal Cave in his first draft pick, meanwhile on the side of TBA. I'm interested to see what.
See, right there. You notice yourself starting to stumble. You just take a moment and breathe. That's fine. That's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
To hide that better, you want to make sure you either end a statement or you can just get a quick thought out. You can say something like, now looking on the side of TBA, pause. We need a response from them. What is this? What is their final pick before we get into the second ban phase?
But so my question to you on that point is then, wouldn't that also signify to Rudu that I'd be done with my point and more often than I probably just take over? Considering like you mentioned within the cadence that I ended it on, or are you saying that I would then try to end it on like a but then
now but those statements indicate to Rude that you're not done yet, but you need a moment but you're purposely using this pause to indicate, to, give some space and room for breathing in the cast, and if Rude picks up on it, cool. If not, then don't make it a big deal, right? Rude Dude takes it, and because you pause anyway, and so Rude Dude can play it off and just continue taken over. So it's
Mhm.
it's kind of a safe thing to do. So
what they're going to take out, because not a ton from the side of Crystal Cave really bothered them, but they will take out the Graves because they know that if given over, that'll be the first pick for Crystal Cave. But the set is what they opt into.
Interesting indeed. They've got themselves a nice little flexible pick right here. Maybe taking that to the top lane, maybe even taking it to the jungle, mid, or support role. Still so much flexibility in this pick. We've seen it sort of divert away from that and become more of a top laner since the rework sort of changed to the way his Q works and the statistics which he buys. Pulling it up into the top lane has been something that's been a lot more prevalent. But the Lilia coming through for TBA, another S tier jungler. So Gu exhibiting his third champion this series. Going to be playing out with the Lilia here with the Blooming Blows, the Lilting Lullaby combination. Should be able to see a lot of mastery on this champion once again.
Now, on the other hand, we're seeing, like you said, now with the Lilia, they see the Renekton as well.
I just realized the first 3 were bans and not champion picks.
Yes.
Pro draft.
Pulled in
Keck
for
W.
TBA, potentially to go up against a set matchup. But the art,
Blows, the Lilting Lullaby combination. Should be able to see a lot of mastery on this champion once again.
Now, on the other hand, we're seeing, like you said, now with the Lilia, they see the Renekton as well pulled in for TBA, potentially to go up against a set matchup. But the R2 Renekton, now fun me between a lot of different, fun me between a lot of different casters. Picking Renekton so early on is essentially giving a lot of what you want to do. It is matched by the Urgot Rude. Now, I don't know about you. I love Urgot. I think he's a fantastic pick in many different compositions, and he scales very, very well, especially up against the Renekton. Of course, Renekton will obviously have the early agency, but starting from level 2, Urgot can be deadly.
Definitely can here, and I feel like Crystal Cave has sort of left the set out on a leash and maybe sort of gone, yeah, this set's going top lane, baited in TBA with a Renekton pick, because Renekton is fairly decent, at least into set with that Ruthless Predator, able to cut through that Haymaker shield, and then sort of gone back against it with an Urgot pickup here to try and counter out that Renekton. What I want to throw out there to you, Ravish, is, do you think that Young can put this Renekton mid lane?
So
I don't see why not.
see how Rude Dude gets the pause, but you don't cut him off because he sets himself up that way where it's like, hey, I'm going to ask you something. Wait for it, right? So you can, just kind of the same type of tone of an inflection of tone that he had in his voice and his pitch, use that to your advantage whenever you need to do something similar, when you want to use pause. That's something for you to explore. It's how...
to try and counter out that Renekton. What I want to throw out there to you, Ravish, is...
What I want to throw out to you, Ravish, is... So even though, like, the tone still comes down to that level where you would normally end a sentence, because of the words that he actually used, he's still about to say some stuff. You can also say, what I want to ask you, Ravish, do we see a response? You can also, end up there as well. You can be up here, and because you normally don't end on a sentence, it's a stronger intonation or indication of you're not done yet. You're gonna bring it back down for the other caster.
Yeah, just as long as you're properly inflecting when you're trying to do the pause.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you think that Young can put this Renekton mid lane?
I don't see why not.
I see a world where this Renekton gets flexed into the mid lane against...
Oh, God. Dude, Rude Dude is so and massive brain, man. Like, he knows about the Renekton mid tech.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I did not until this game, which was dope because because I acquired some league knowledge as well, because I wasn't familiar with the matchup. But Renekton is really good in Descent.
Well, yeah, but the thing I get excited about is this is a small deviation, but Renekton
Yeah.
mid was originally innovated by XPeke when he was still on Fnatic. And the concept was in season 3, season 4, Fizz mid was becoming a menace. And like normally Fizz's problems is that he has shit wave clear, so that he's not able to. He can't match against other stronger control mages that have strong wave clear, even though he has all-in pressure on them. He can't, like, the way you beat Fizz is you just shove him in, you deny him CS, and then you step away from the wave. And then whenever he goes for CS, you can comfortably, safely harass him under tower. And so then he chooses, okay, do I try to force an all-in, or do I try to actually farm? And professional players usually can mitigate being all-in by a Fizz. However, in Season 3, there weren't any control mages strong enough in terms of stat-wise that Fizz is all-in damage. It doesn't matter if they get poked out to like half health. Fizz then just all-ins and like can actually take down a control mage. So Fizz could be blind picked in a variety of situations. So they picked Renekton early on, waited for the Fizz to come out, then they picked another top laner, flexed Renekton mid, and you would run red pot, and anytime the Fizz wants to walk up to CS because you're both melee range, you just empower W, Q, slice and dice, or slice and dice to get in range if he wants to walk up to the back wave or something. Oh man, that dude, Renekton mid just on so many melee champions early. It was nuts.
Okay.
See, Will knows. Easy clap.
Yeah, Will does know. Yeah,
the perfect chance to swap. I was so upset. Also, I'd looked 5 head.
Some mage, something along those lines that they're going to try and throw in to maybe triple big brain, the counter pick to the counter pick to the counter pick.
No.
I think it is interesting, even though this is mainly a VOD review for Ravish, and I see that Rude has signed up for a VOD review, so I will get to him in the future. But I find it interesting that Rude actually proposed the question to you that do we see a flex from Renekton to mid to answer the set because it's going mid? And
I was caught off guard.
yeah, I was like, not trying to bag on you, Ravish, but it's not even that you're a play-by-play. I just don't think that you know about Renekton mid. So I was like, I almost feel like what Rude wanted to do is like, hey, Ravish, I'm going to ask you this question, but really I want you to ask me this question so I can just dump my massive brain out on this really cool tech and this really cool flex, which is unfortunate because it's like that's in a perfect world would have happened, but Rude just had to. I think in that situation, Rude, instead of propping up the question to Ravish, you could be like, Ravish, I think we're actually going to see a Renekton mid situation here. And so maybe Ravish, what happens is if Ravish does know about the tech, then he can talk about it more. But if he doesn't, what you do is, what do you mean Renekton mid? That exists, and then Rude Dude can come back and is like, yeah, dude, like Renekton mid is a old school counter pick. I mean, it shits on set, and you want to get set out of this lane matchup against the Renekton, so that's why they put the Urgot. But Renekton can function well mid. He's got this decent wave clear, can always match the set in priority, and then I mean that's what the Lilia wants anyway. She wants to be protected early on or be able to go for invade priority on invades and taking away camps. It's just something to consider. Instead of propping up the question, you could just be like, oh my god, we're getting Renekton mid. Maybe. So that's hang on, it is hard to see chat. I want to make sure that I'm missing anything too important, but I think what I'm gonna do now, if I really want something like that to happen, is like, hey, Ravish, ask me about XYZ. Okay, what about this? I'm so glad you asked. Wait, you know, if you have that synergy with your co-caster, I think that could work. That'd be really funny. That's I would enjoy that. You know what? Josh, Will, Dimitri, Max, Cubby, whoever I cast with in the future, if you want me to ask you a question, just be like, hey, Rafa, ask me about Kindred bot lane. All right, Will. What's up with Kindred bot lane? I'm so glad you asked, Mark. All right, Kindred bot is so fucking sick.
That is so big brain, bro. Shit. Wait, did you knock out your camera again?
I did. Shit. Wait. Oh, we're getting so excited. Smile. Okay.
Ohm wrecker.
Oh. Ohm wrecker situation. He asked me to ask him about Ohm wrecker, and then he argues, and then I said, "Oh, that's right." It's like, yeah. Hey, Uncle Bill, what do you think about Ohm wrecker? Ohm wrecker so bad. It's a classic. All right. Anyway.
Oh my God, it would be like Inception, but so much less interesting.
What?
Brain. The counter where this Renekton gets flexed into the mid lane against some.
Because I was just saying, because like you said, it like there's a counter to the counter to the counter, and I was like, yeah,
right,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Lines that they're going to try and throw in to maybe triple big brain. The counter pick to the counter pick to the counter pick.
Oh my God, it would be like Inception, but so much less interesting.
Damn.
With that though, I'm also getting word as well that the Callista is not.
Inception, but for League of Legends. Why you gotta say less interesting, man? Come on, we're watching League of Legends. We're League of Legends fans. We're interested in counter picks. We're interested in high-level drafting strats.
I know. I thought it was a good joke.
So far for the side of TBA is the Lilia, Renekton, and the Senna so far. So still, so far, 2 fantastic scaling picks.
Oh yeah,
a little bit of
because
AP,
Pro drafts a Callista Center. Remember that.
For the early agency, but still. The comp is a little bit split up, I find, because Rector wants to go ahead and go in, but Lilia and Senna want to play a bit farther back, get out, be able to go ahead and poke out the damage. Meanwhile, Lilia just swings her staff around as she bobs and weaves around every team fight, which is the most annoying thing, honestly.
Yeah, Lily is fairly flexible in the way you can play her because she does have the ability to navigate into the backline with all of that movement speed from the passive stacks, but also has just the same ability to sit on the tanks and really peel for this Senna and try and help out with that tank shredding capability with the likely Liandries that will come on through. And we can see now that if you're talking about this Renekton, right, this support role for TBA, what we want from Plux is something to go diving with that Renekton and help him out in that situation. Something either to pull everybody into TBA or to go diving in with that Renekton. So what we want to be picked up here, because I honestly think that this should be the support pick so that they have the option of flexing Renekton around.
There was definitely do them be well on the other side with the bands that come from Crystal Cave.
Bro, you completely...
And help him out in that situation. Something either to pull everybody into TBA or to go diving in with that Renekton. So what we want to be picked up here, because I honestly think that this should be the support pick so that they have the option of flexing Renekton around.
There was definitely do them be well on the other side with the bands that come from Crystal Cave. It will be the Bard Braum from them, so not gonna go ahead and give that away to TBA.
I see what you're trying to say. So this is a moment where we're already on the R4 of Rude Dude is already thinking about support pickup for TBA because looks like they want to save counter pick for mid or top lane at this point, or they want to be sure. But you're talking about Bard and Braum. Like if you're gonna mention support bans, the way you want to concise that is as soon as Rude Dude says
into TBA or to go diving in with that Renekton. So what we want to be picked up here, because I honestly think that this should be the support pick so that they have the option of flexing Renekton around.
Bard and Braum bans did come in from Crystal Cave, so it doesn't leave that many options for TBA. What do we see as the final pick? It is Annie. Boom. Boom. Done. You briefly acknowledge Bard and Braum bans came in. You can't talk about them for too long. And, you know, we do see on the other side. You don't need to say that. You're not buying time. You're already behind because we're about to hit the R4 pickup in this draft. Support bans already came through. You just got to be like, Bard and Braum bans came in from Crystal Cave. Boom. TBA. Looking for potentially a support. Annie locked in. Boom.
There was definitely going to be on the other side with the bans that come through from Crystal Cave. It will be the Bard Braum from them. So not.
It's like there's so many unnecessary words in there. You could have just said Bard Braum.
Yep.
So
not going to go ahead and give that away to TBA as we know how much.
Yeah. Again, just these similar mistakes of trying, just saying useless things where yet again less is more. So.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for confirmation here. As this is the Annie, there's no one saying anything at all. This is Annie here.
New Annie.
But yeah, this is new Annie, so that will definitely still be Annie's support as she cannot give shields to her laners.
Exactly, and this is something, you know, throwback to Season 4, Season 5, right?
Oh, God, Rude Dude knows his league history. That's so hot. Okay. Sorry. I'm not trying to make this a Rude Dude sip stream.
No. I mean, respects to him, honestly, yeah. It's he's legit able to pick up so much of the shit that I just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have that in your color caster. So when it comes to your knowledge level of League, so we're like, there's kind of a mismatch in terms of excitement or surprise level when the Annie comes in. Because when it comes in for you kind of, I mean, it's not like outrageous, thankfully, but you're like, oh my God, we're actually seeing Annie. But you don't get a chance to explain why you're kind of excited about it. Maybe, you know, if it's because like this is the first time we're seeing Annie support in Focus, just say that. I believe this is the first Annie support we're seeing in Focus this split, or you know, this split. You know, assuming that you've been casting Focus this entire season, and then Rude Dude can fill in. Is like, yeah, you know, as he said before, Annie support has actually come back. Really has come back into the meta. It was a throw. It was super strong back in Season 4 when it was first innovated by the Chinese bot lanes back at Season 3 Worlds. Shoutouts to Tabe and White. I want to say. I could be wrong. Or is it Uzi and... No. Was it Uzi and Tabe? Was it Uzi and White? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But anyway... Let Rude Dude fill in the gaps, because like unless you're confident in, you know, intricacies and how like specific mechanics work, you know, you don't need to try and talk about the specificities. Your color can, you know. Now, if you are very confident in that, then you can dip into color. It's just like, you know, based off of what I'm seeing right now, you are grabbing straws and you're like, I think this is what she does now, you know, and it's not, I'm not convinced that you know what you're talking about just based on and that could all be tone, right? And so because you're coming into this cast a little flustered and slightly underprepped, you know, it might just be your tone and your word choices are a reflection of what it seems like you may or may not know, but it's something to keep in mind that if you're not feeling that well, just you can keep it safe, keep things general, and then let your color, especially if you have a one that you can depend on, to just fill in those gaps for you.
Righteous Glory Annie running at you with flash tibbers for the engage this time round is a lot. It's a lot more potent nowadays with the movement speed on the E and the obviously very susceptible damage that Annie puts through, because there was a meme back in the day where Annie could build literally any items and she'd still one-shot the ADC. So
True.
It is what it is, and we can actually see right there that the Pike is not in fact a Pike, ladies and gentlemen. It is actually going to be the Maokai.
Now imagine that's also Maokai support, or honestly, it could be set support too. Maokai support I've seen pop up in a couple different types of decompositions. Especially, it's like, although along with Maokai Ezreal aren't like amazing together, I find Maokai support in general isn't the greatest. But going IP Maokai on bot side can be a lot of fun, especially with the saplings. If you can go and set up a small little trap for themselves, you know, for any of the lanes who go to come by and dare to get close, both the saplings come in.
I can tell how disappointed Rude is. He's like, damn it. They didn't do the flex. They're sending Corki, Min, Sag.
And just do
or are they?
a uber amount of
Or are they?
damages. I'm gonna wait. With all these picks from TBA, I don't want to get excited just yet. I'm getting nothing. It's the Corki here. Man, Rude, Corki's my favorite Goshstar ADC in the game. I will never see him anymore. I love him.
You are so weird. I'm just kidding.
He's in... What?
Yes, like I like Urgot. I like Corki. Yes.
Corki's your favorite ADC?
Yes, yes. From the time that I started playing League of Legends, which was the end of season 3, I loved Corki. He's the first ADC I ever played. Man, yo, like Mordekaiser is my favorite mid laner still. All right.
Okay.
Man, you're just a Corki Azir lane meta abuser, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You fucking from season 5. You enjoy season 5? Just, hey, I'm gonna shove my lane in. Hey, I'm gonna shove my lane in. Oh wow, great interactive gameplay, guys, from the mid laners. Oh, let's just scale and farm until 25 minutes. We'll have a team fight, and then boom, whoever team fights better wins the game, guys. Yeah, good. Oh, you're almost as bad as Josh. Oh, damn it.
But here's the joke: I don't play in mid; I play in bot.
Oh, well, then you're just. I don't even know.
Season 10 must have been the best time. The start of season 10 must have been your absolute favorite right there. I mean,
you talking shit. You talking shit. No, Josh, because I know with your way we win. It's just, you know me, Josh. Me fight. I like fighting. Fighting's fun.
Every single time I went into mid lane against Corki Azir, just singing, I had the lane of my life.
Oh, I was explaining. Ravish said Corki is his favorite ADC, and Rude Dude made a comment of like, God, you're just an Azir Corki meta abuser. I see. I'm like, true. You're just like Josh. You just don't want to do anything for the first 25 minutes, and then you fight one fight, and then we win. Haha. So interactive, so fun. That's.
Laugh. just with his biggest smile on my face, 1000%, mate. So I absolutely love it. I gotta say, but Corki, unfortunately, too, he does take a long time to scale. Like, you're definitely looking for those 2 or 3 item power spikes to make sure that Corki's a champion. Because even now,
color caster check. Does Corki still like? I feel like Trinity Force is a big power spike that you always want to fight on as Corki. Obviously, with each power spike, historically, Corki gets stronger and stronger. Because before, it would be Trinity Force, Infinity Edge. But then, you know, obviously with the Mana Mune revitalization for a bunch of ADCs, Trinity Force Mana Mune was a big thing for Corki.
Ever since they took crit out of Triforce, he just hasn't been the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's now turned into a Mana Moon build, right, for the Corki.
Okay,
where
yeah. So Rude Dude, thankfully Rude Dude is doing a lot of correcting for you. So which is fine. I think it is completely fine to be more. Now, if you're confident and you say like, oh yeah, because you did sound more confident there.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like more okay with it. Whereas if you're like, so yeah, we're probably expecting a 2-item, 3-item power spike is when Corki will finally come online. And it's like, you can ask Rude, dude. You can just ask. So with the Corki lock-in, you know, how does this change when TBA's composition really comes online? Holy snack pack. Hey man, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing a casting VOD review for my colleague Ravish.
Hello.
So we are just discussing casting theory and going over one of his most recent VODs. And I'm just pointing out things that he can do better, what he can improve on, etc., etc. But it's nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well.
And that's scaling into a 2 or 3-item power spike as opposed to that 1-item Trinity Force power spike that we used to get way back when with that Trinity Force coming through. When it, as you say, had that critical strike. I'm still very curious about the CCG roster here, where they're going to be putting all of these champions. You have to remember that we've got an Urgot, a Set, and a Maokai available to go into the top, mid, and support roles respectively. We expect the Urgot to go top lane, and then by extension, probably expect the Set to roll into the mid lane and the Maokai to fill out that support role. So we have to wait for those confirmations to come on through, of course. But as we see with the lock-in of the Set in the mid lane, feels like it's all pretty much done and dusted in that regard. And now we can start to think about these champions and what they want to do as a whole, more so than anything else.
So Night Round looking, I'm definitely putting a lot of attention for me, especially, is gonna be directing getting, like, is gonna be the directing getting ahead early on to be able to go ahead and give him a chance to roam, especially for the bot side skirmishes that we saw previously as well. Like right now we're seeing too, like, with the Lilia and along with the Nidalee too. Now both these AP junglers do have pretty solid clears as well and really good gank setups across the board for both these teams. So I'm excited to see which lane to go ahead and try to put the focus on. Now we've seen Goo immediately put focus on a young mid, especially really early on, but go for early roams bot side though. Against now with a Senna along with the Annie support early on, there isn't a ton of gank assist unless the Annie stun is up along with the Senna route too. I don't know why the fuck I said. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Point and click stun root from Senna. Yeah, not a ton of gank assistance here. Move on. Oh, it's okay. It's a gap in the knowledge, or just kind of.
Like I knew. I don't even know why. Oh my god. Like it's. I swear I knew that. I don't know why I didn't say it.
Pain.
Oh, pain. But yes, Josh. This is the same game that you reviewed as well before. But I have to say, unfortunately, because I was talking to Rafa about this. Well, I haven't been able to cast League as of late. So, but I wanted to at least still get it out there. But because I think this is a decently accurate representation of where I'm currently in League. So. I'm personally, I'm just gonna go ahead and be excited for the Urgot because that's just me, man.
It definitely, yeah. Urgot as a champion it's so fun to watch. Honestly,
Urgot is a champion. This is true. This is true.
Very rare that I'll say that tank cruisers are fun to watch, but the fear beyond death.
I almost think you threw off Rude. You're just like, I just want to watch Urgot, man. I'm so excited. It's like, God damn it, Ravish, you're not really giving me anything to work with here. Well, now I got to talk about this Urgot because you're super excited about it. I got to spin something. Yeah, Urgot's a champion. Yeah, he's really fun to watch.
I don't want to talk about the Urgot, Ravish. Oh,
it's one of the funnest abilities that I've seen in a long time. The ability to kill somebody from a screen and a half away just by executing them and then pulling them back into the meat grinder is actually just hilarious to me. I love it. I actually just love seeing it, to be honest. And if they're able to get the Urgot going in the early game, then this top side matchup could be very difficult for Cozy Shroud. Urgot has been picked as the counter to the Renekton. TBA opts not to flex the Renekton into the mid lane versus the Set here, and instead put the Corki there. So it is going to be the return of Set mid here, likely to be that full tank style of Set that we see. Maybe the Sunfire into the Deadmans, or maybe just a little bit of magic resist early on because that Corki is so dominant in that faction.
Now, he most definitely is, though. Now, with all that being said,
you already know. You already know.
Yeah,
You already
yeah.
know. Keep moving on. Also, what's up, George? Long time no see as well, my friend. We'll have to talk in a bit. I am reviewing a VOD for my friend or my colleague here, Ravish.
Rude, are there any picks for you personally? I know what I'm watching. What are you personally?
Down, and then I caught myself right at the beginning and be like, yeah, definitely. I'm like, shut up. No.
Looking at going into this game.
I'm looking at this Annie. I want to see. This is something new, right? This is an Annie support, but the new age, the season 10 Annie support, giving the movement speed to an ally instead of giving it to yourself. Maybe looking to see some Renekton dives going on. Maybe giving the Senna that little bit of extra agency to find that glacial augment slow, or maybe to get away from either of these, quite heavy dive members from CCG here. There's a lot of things for the Annie to do, and that utility provided with the move speed boost is going to be very key in the fights.
Well, let's go ahead. Keep our fingers crossed for the righteous glory Annie, which is so famous so long ago in the days of yours. Now, with that all being said, though, folks, TBA are 2-0. This could potentially be the final game, or CCG might be able to make the comeback as well. Stick around and find out right here on Focus.
Okay. The beginning of that outro was kind of mumble jumble, but you close it out pretty well.
Okay.
Just like there, you were like trying to figure out how you were transitioning to.
Yeah.
I must outro. Yeah. And then once you finally found yourself, you're like, okay, this is what I want to say. Focus will be right back.
Yeah. That's yeah, and yet again, this is also going back to the point of knowing what you want to say, so you don't sound like a absolute dunderhead when you're trying to take yourself out. You're not just mumbling and fumbling and tumbling your way through what you want to get out there.
So, remember how you have a spectator delay? What should you be doing right now with Mr. Rude while you're in the spectator delay?
So this is something that we did do. I remember was we talked about what we wanted to set up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I remember I made sure to do so. Like we want to talk about, like it's like, what are the main points of the composition, like what is it looking like, and like things we wanted to watch as he went into the game. Although we didn't set it up immediately, but then I remember we do talk about it as you go into game.
Beautiful, because that baseline narrative helps a lot in being able to kind of like map out and storyboard because now you got to think of this is a movie that's playing out. You've got the script. All of your actors are now playing their parts, and so you're setting up the script with your color cast. It's like, okay, this is what we should expect to happen. This is what should happen. For the variables that we are not sure yet, if it happens like this, then this is what will happen, or if it happens like this, then this will happen, right? Make sure to explain those. And so when it doesn't go the way it's expected to, it's like, oh crap, this is not part of the script. What's happening? Everything's going off the rails. Damn, I can't get that deep. Well, I can, but I go demonic mode.
Ravish Kana, your soul has been judged.
Yo, what the fuck? That's sick. With Seth.
That was, yeah, that was goddamn elite, brother. What? Yo, shit. I mean, like, I was both scared and excited. I was like, yo, what? That was that's what's up right there. Okay.
Oh, I don't know when I started doing it, but I was just like, oh man, Hecarim has some really cool quotes. The behold the might of the shadow. And then I did something with my throat, and then finally
Behold the might of the Shadow Isles.
I was just like, oh shit, okay. Kind of I wouldn't recommend doing it for too long.
Yo, I got it. Yo, what the fuck? That was.
I'm not a baritone, but for
Yo,
there's something
was...
there's something I do in my throat. I need to ask around.
Yo, that was sexy, bro. God, what the fuck?
It sounds more like, I don't even know. I never knew if it sounded good or not, because it, to me, like, I can feel it in my throat. It sounds like really icky, but
it's like I just imagine whenever our Aatrox does like his not demonic ascension, world ender. Demonic ascension is Swain, yeah, because I know League of Legends.
The power of Christ compels you.
Does it, Jay? Does it really, Jay?
Oh my god! Oh, that's you. You gonna put that in your channel points, bro? Shit.
Oh. Who's in the game below Nidalee and then below Renekton and Corgi? Oh, George, we've got some new champions, bro. We have Set, we have Lilia, and we have Senna. Senna, if you remember, is Lucian's wife. Lucian's wife is back in the game, or is in the game officially.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I see that Chilling Walk redeemed some points to tell Rude Dude something cute. I will save it for after the VOD review, if you don't mind, Rude.
What's really at stake here? Now, Rude, TBA are up 2 games right now for Crystal Gaming. It is do or die.
Exactly.
Hey.
Damn. You were like,
This is the moment where things will pan out. One will live, one will die.
I love it so much.
The cycle of life continues. They will live, and they will die.
You gotta go for the jugular.
It's trash. Oh, it's trash.
no, it's Nasus.
Look, guys, look. I've had voice lines off since season 4. I don't know. I've had voice lines off since season 4. Look, I play the champions I play. And then I don't go. Yes, baby. 7 plus 3 is 12.
Okay, all right, Ravish. Let me give you an easy one, please.
Yes, sir.
Darkness.
I've had voice lines off since season. Oh, Nocturne.
Thank you. Okay, we can
in
get
this
to
game. TBA are 2-0 up. Crystal Cave Gaming. They've got no second chances anymore. This is the game where they have to go ham. If they want to win the series, if they want to win this game, it all hinges on their early game, I feel like, at least. With this Nidalee pickup is something that is so feast or famine, something that as we get later and later can be so easily exploited here. And if we don't get that early game impact...
Feast or famine, easily exploited. He's very right, you know.
From the champion, then. Definitely going to be in a rough spot.
Damn!
Trees,
Plus
man.
took
That's
so
all I
much
can say.
damage.
This guy's an absolute tree hugger, isn't he? Yeah, just loves going out squeezing. I was like, oh, I love it. Yeah.
Definitely going to be something that as we get later and later can be so easily exploited here. And if we don't get that early game impact from the champion, then definitely going to be in a rough spot. Plux just loves trees, man. That's all I can say.
This guy's an absolute tree hugger, isn't he? Yeah, just loves going out squeezing. I was like, oh, I love it. Yeah. All right, there you go. There's my one, and I used it at the beginning of the game. Damn it.
1 minute, 5 seconds. I'd prefer it now than in a team fight. You suddenly turn into Sherlock Holmes, and we can get some investigation as to why Rude isn't talking about a QSS. Either way, right? We talk about the
This is cute synergy and banter. I like it.
the early game being important. I want to point out quickly that this is the first time round where it's going to be a blind start for both of these junglers, right? We haven't seen vision traded. We saw a nice 5-point across either side, and yes, the teams can make their assessments, and with obviously the spot lane walking in late, both teams going to fake leashes, so it is going to be a interesting sort of situation that the junglers find themselves in, and more interesting than that, we got a lane swap on our hands.
Yeah, we most definitely do.
Hey! Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so there's a spoiler which I was saying is like they won't go mid. No, they went mid. Yeah.
Like going for the Corki on the top side and go for and with the Renekton in the mid nonetheless. Now, Rude, do you remember what you told me that what would happen? Like, would you say that young mid could he play with that Renekton?
I do. Plux is, getting real close to this tree. I was a little bit worried right there. He's absolutely loving the Maokai. But yeah, I mean, hey, I wasn't entirely far off, right? I said, does Young take the Renekton into the mid lane? If I'd have said, did TBA take the Renekton into the mid lane, I'd have been 100% there. But unfortunately, we can't go back and unsay what we said. I mean, Renekton into set is definitely the better matchup, it feels like.
And honestly, I live with that burden every day. It was definitely cannot though, but definitely. But I would look at CCG. It's for them people to go ahead get some early priority. Speaking of early priority, it's blocking my lot. It's ignited up in first blood, going to the tree. Nature's dangerous, son. You should know that.
I mean, they definitely get capitalized on and unsay what we said.
Sure.
I mean, Renekton into set is definitely the better matchup, it feels like.
And honestly, I live with that burden every day.
What burden are you talking about? By the way?
Oh, it's so he said that we can't take back what we've said.
Oh, we can't take back what we said? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I appreciate you laughing at the restaurant.
Not though, but definitely.
I mean, you sold it, and you and Rude were laughing, so I kind of did a nervous laughter, like, yeah, they're having, haha. What are they laughing? But sometimes that's better than just like not laughing at all.
But I would look at CCG. It's for them people to go ahead.
Because you made me think that I should be laughing, and it was funny. It's like, damn, I don't know what they're talking about, but it sounds funny.
Get some early priority. Speaking of early priority, it's blocking my lot. It's ignited up in first blood, going to the tree. Nature's dangerous, son. You should know that.
What did you say? Major is dangerous?
I said nature's dangerous.
Oh, nature's dangerous. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nature is dangerous.
I mean, they definitely get capitalized.
Nature's not dangerous.
I think the way you transitioned into that fight was
Awkward?
well, yeah, because you said, speaking of early priorities, there's nothing about early priorities in this lane. It just Maokai walked up and down smashed on the Glock, and how would I say this? I'm thinking,
Sunrise.
It was definitely cannot though, but definitely. But I would look at CCG. It's for them people to go ahead get some early priority. Speaking of
early priorities, TJD what's his name? The Maokai?
CCG, so Crystal Cave Gaming is their name. Yeah.
No, the support Maokai, I guess. WT WTJD.
Yeah, WTG, the WT.
Okay, yeah, we'll just call it. So yeah. However, WT's walking up to Glock my lap, and they're gonna go for this all in. And they might just be able to get it out.
Priority is Glock in my lap.
And then the rest of the call is fine because you don't get super excited, but there's definitely surprise in your voice, like, oh, they just did that.
Ignited up in first blood, going to the tree.
I would probably turn down the volume a bit. You can keep that pitch. So instead of gonna go off of first blood, you can just be like, wow, off of first blood. Interesting. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
Nature's dangerous, son. You should know that.
I mean, they definitely get capitalized on right there. The overstep from Glock just gets punished, doesn't even bend the flash, doesn't have the time. The Maokai route coming on through, and from there on in, it's just super straightforward for the Ezreal to jump on in, get some damage down, and that is the first blood going the way of CCG. Talks about them needing to go ham in the early game, and they're definitely trying here with Goo here.
Yeah, you're going to come in onto the ecstasy, the back, pushing back and forth with actually the bowling ball. I believe he got onto the Maokai.
I don't know if it's because of the producer or not.
It was directed to Cam. Yeah, I didn't see how Maokai died because he died off screen for me, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But like.
Yes, yeah, you're going to come in onto the ecstasy.
Oh, I see. So
CCG.
directed camera was showing you something else, I guess, before Goo came in.
And they're definitely trying here with
directed camera was up by where the bush is, unfortunately, and WT was way off to the side, so he was not capturing the frame, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, that part I don't really care about, but you still see Goo walking in, right, to make this initiation, or?
Oh yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. You don't. So, you're ramping up super fast, and you don't need to. Okay. All you need. This is a situation where it's, oh well, WT, and Exothy staying a little longer than they should have, and Goo is here for a gank. And with their health bars being super low, there should be very easy cleanup. That's it. You know, I wouldn't even say it the way I said it. There's like a simpler way. Like, I'm gonna mute this.
Jump on in, get some damage.
Well, WT and Exothy probably staying a little longer than they should have. Flash comes in from Goo. He's got the Q and he's got the bleed or the poison, the DTS. It's that simple. You know, just unfortunately for Exothy and WT, they felt confident off of the kill, the first blood on the Glock, but they just stayed a little too long. And even
that was a really nice.
Even then, I wouldn't even like extend myself that long. I guess I took that liberty because Root had already, you know, taken up right beforehand, so you can kind of just talk about I think the better way of like ending this when you talk about Exothy and WT way too far extended, and with Goo having his flash available, gets the passive damage over time, or gets the passive dot proc down. There's no way that WT is able to get out, and it's one of those things where yes, you get first blood, but doesn't mean that you can be complacent and give up your lead so easily by overextending when it's not safe to. And then Root can kind of take it's not like a big point, but you can just kind of flex it to, because then Root is able to pick that up, and then he can continue this. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where Exothy and WT, you know, if you're given a lead like that in the lane, you should be more careful about it, because if you're able to shove in that wave faster, be able to get a recall, now you go back to lane with an item advantage, and you can really use that to punish and continue pushing in Glock and Plux, and that buys priority for Dragon to invade heavily on the bot side of the map. But because they didn't communicate with their jungler where Lilia was, or they didn't respect Lilia being on the map on the bottom side, you know, that there's a narrative there, right? So
what he was greeding for off of that first blood or that first little kill area. And we see another gank in the mid lane, 3v2 with a TP.
Immediately going to slow her down in Stratford, but the TP, like you mentioned,
Four.
coming from Burke. It's a whole party in the.
The pass was also very scuffed and late, to be fair. That's fine. Even if Rude gives you the pass way too late, there are times when I've casted with Dimitri or Will or Josh, and we both know, like, just based on synergy alone, we've known, or we know that, like, oh, this guy's gonna die. Sometimes you don't even need to, like, because I mean, I guess you can like pass it to the play-by-play, but it's just like, oh, well, Goose here, and they're overextended. They're probably dead. And you can just say, yep, this shouldn't be written in the books. I mean, you're going to burn the flash, but the dot comes in, and you're not escaping that one, my friend. And then, just like that, boom, it's over. And then you can continue talking. Well, as punishment for their sins, the position police comes in. Hey, by the way, don't take position police. That's me and Dimitri's thing that we're coin.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just kidding. You can use it whatever. But that is an Alk battery coin term, the position police, which I'm very fond of that one. Anyway.
Oh, it is absolutely great.
And we're seeing already CCG don't want to give.
You've been stealing position police. All right, I'm gonna have to call my lawyers real quick. Beat down. I'm gonna copyright it right now.
Anything up at all? They're saying you come. No. We're here too. This is gonna be the whole squad gonna pull up. We ready.
Exactly. They hop out of the little caster creep, like one of those clown cars. You're expecting one, you get two.
Exactly here, mate. As Burke immediately not having the greatest time in the Rector matchup at all, though. But so far, not too bad across the board for the side of CCG. The slow maintaining pretty overall even lanes. Of course, besides the couple kills given away previously, but it should be fine. Blocking my lap, those things a bit farther back, which I do like, because he did learn his lesson from the first time. But Rude, though, we should go ahead and talk about what both CCG and TBA need to do to win these games.
Cool.
Yeah, so for me at least, it feels like
cool redirecting.
TBA have the burden of sitting back and not forcing plays, which is something that they've been hesitant to do so far in this series. They're definitely very adept at trying to make things happen and get the ball rolling in that respect. But they have a really nice scaling composition here. We talked about Corki being a really nice late game damage source. Senna as well scales phenomenally into the late game with those souls, with the extra range that they provide. And if they're able to get to 30-40 minutes here, having maybe 60 to 80 souls on the center, that extra Caitlyn-esque range, and the damage that the Corki will be having with that Trinity Force, with that Mirror Mana, and either the Zeal or the Infinity Edge item, then there's a lot of avenues for the Corki center to just shred through any tank line that CCG can even think of trying to present.
As just a small little note, I do want to go ahead and present here, Rude. We get the double lane swap as well.
Yep.
It's pretty much at the top set mid-size matchup decide, you know what, we'll go ahead and take over these other lanes. But I have to say, I like Cozy Shroud in the mid-side. He should be doing pretty okay in the Urgot matchup, especially early on. So that's you go ahead and pick the Renekton as well. But now with him being mid, it should give a lot more agency for him to go ahead and roam around the map. Especially as
that is incorrect.
A lot more pressure, especially in a lot of these side lanes, or even just moving around with Goo to be able to, go for early invades as well.
And also, there's a reason that these champions are top laners, right? There's a reason that the Urgot is played in the top lane, and the fact that they've had to match the Renekton into the mid lane with the Urgot is actually going to, limit how much of an advantage that Beric can find in this 1v1, because the advantage of top lane is it's a much longer lane than that mid one, and with the, prolonged engages that Urgot definitely loves here with those shotgun knees, with the Conqueror coming through, he's definitely got a less opportunity to make those sort of trades happen in the mid lane, because the Renekton doesn't have to go anywhere near as far to get back to his turret. And we just see a game of cat and mouse right here, because both Cozy Shroud and Young Mid want to swap the lanes, keep Young Mid free farming versus the set, although Cozy Shroud could be in danger.
Yeah, Cozy Shroud, he does have half the rage bar, so should be able to heal up if he needs to, but goes ahead and just slices into the turret. No dice needed as of yet, as they're not playing crabs or carbs. But but downside though, we see Dragon be started up with TBA.
Yeah, they're gonna secure that for.
I see you're trying to be
Witty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wit attempt is fine, just it needs to happen faster.
Quickly.
Because the fact that you're struggling to make it witty is like, oh, why are you taking up time to try and force in like a... Because the nice thing about wit is that it's quick, right? That's when it's funny, is when it just comes off the dome, and it just... That's why when I got super enthralled when you did the icebox temperature comparison in cast, because it happens so smoothly, right? So just be careful about those. It's like, if you're gonna go for a witty comparison, it's got to be quicker.
Themselves, the nice little early advantage, a little bit of extra damage in their favor, going to be very nice indeed, and obviously catapulting themselves toward that soul, be it whatever it is. Could be a cloud, could be an ocean, with the mountain drake spawning in just 4.5 minutes here. And the name of the game is still just going to be scaling here for TBA, and getting the first drake is actually so huge for them as well. They shouldn't really be able to have access to that because their bot side of the map is double tier users. Well, Lilting Lullaby.
Yeah, we're seeing the double tier, the double sleep is on the bot side, but Goo takes too many tower shots almost immediately, and WTG can't do anything. He just kind of stands there and sleeps as he dreams of all his teammates dying.
I mean, yeah, that dive wasn't perfect.
Not bad. A little fumble in the middle, but that's not a bad call.
Okay.
Perfectly executed, I will confirm.
Energy was somewhat appropriate. In fact, your energy there was less volume than the first blood call, which is the first blood call should have been basically like this.
Nothing.
Where you're not shouting, you're not like raising your volume, you're just raising your pitch. That's all it is.
Yes, the blooming blow into the Little Lullaby. The setup was perfect, but the Dawning Shadow missed. The Lilia W caught maybe the outer edge on a sleeping target. It was a really nicely timed buffer on A, the Arcane Shift, and B, the Twisted Advance from the Maokai to throw the Lilia off. Maybe force them into an engage a little bit faster than they necessarily should have gone for. They probably didn't have to trade 1-for-1 right there, so I like that CCG are able to get something back for that play.
Speaking of getting back, though, we're seeing Lilia go ahead actually because he maintained that on the bot side, just not letting.
Just note, you don't need to say. Speaking of getting something back, you can just say.
Just transition. Yeah.
Yep. Just keep going.
Goes WTG, pops all the kitties, but no cat will have any attack. His blocks. Oh my god, it's way too low. Can't trade it at all. I blocked him out live. Almost just under half, but the flash over is good. And Ezreal just dumps into his death as Goo gets one back, though, as a little bit of revenge to the tower.
Yeah, this Lilia is mopping up on the
flash.
He arcane shifted into the flash. I didn't know the
will have any attack. Oh my god, it's way too low. Can't trade it at all. I blocked him out live. Almost just under half, but the flash over is good.
It is not good. It was bad. It was good for Glock. It was bad for the Ezreal.
It's good. That needs to be for like a later on fight.
I'm very happy to be used. That's
and the flash is good for Glock.
Damn it, bro.
It's okay. It's okay. Just like you could still like, but you can see how you can still have your personality and you can still like be yourself. Just
Yeah.
gotta control the volume early on. That's all it is,
Yeah.
and the spikes.
Yeah,
And
this
Ezreal just
is-
dumped into
yeah,
his
like,
death
this-
as Goo
never mind.
gets one back.
Like even the as goo gets one. Like maybe that's what the is good. Just be, and the flash. It's good for Glock, but not necessarily for him, as Goo gets a flash out. He picks up another kill for TBA.
Back though, as a little bit of revenge to the tower.
Yeah, this Lilia is mopping up on the bot side of the map. He's doing an incredible job at trying to collapse on these.
So really, because the way you're ending calls is good.
Mhm.
Starting calls can be worked on. It's just, you need to like, if you're imagining like where your peak can go, you need to imagine that the ceiling is so short that you actually can't jump high. Because if you jump too high, you're gonna hit your head, and we don't want to hit our head. That fucking hurts.
Yeah.
You get a boo boo on your head, and then you go to the hospital and you cry, and you're like, man, you don't want that.
Okay.
The ceiling doesn't expand until later on into the game. So
engages. The Nidalee so far hasn't had anywhere near the same level
Control!
of impact. And yes, we can see that they've both got the Runic Echoes completed, but the Lily with a 2-kill lead and a 2-assist lead as well is definitely in a much better spot.
He most definitely is. And I do gotta say, just want to point out
most definitely, don't say that.
the flash from XD as I think
Yes,
going
sir.
to hold. Cozy Strat goes and pops the ultimate flash in as well. Doesn't like the stun. Doesn't even need to. Just solo kills him pretty much on top side. Like plucks too as well.
See, that's a more controlled call. I would still argue because at that point you actually didn't even go higher up until near the end. I think you are actually completely fine and just
As I think going and hold.
keeping it here, 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 keeping it here. Just doesn't even need to go back.
Just solo kills him pretty much.
But you kind of stay up there. Just solo kills him. It's like, I mean, Annie kind of helped. Yeah, I mean, it's not much, but it's, you know,
Fair.
just it's like, you know what? Cozy Shroud starts to run down Barrack. He's got Pluxin for reinforcements, which means there's no easy way out for Barrack. It's going to be a kill easily picked up here for TBA's top laner.
Pretty much on top side. Like plucks too as well. Pretty much there for emotional support.
Yeah, giving him the little shield, a little bit of movement speed needed to close that gap. Shut down the Urgot, who, you know, overextended at the enemy turret. Didn't have any wards in the river or in the tri-bush, so was very susceptible to that gank and paid with it with his life. Still has 2 wards in his inventory as with that kill. Will easily be able to pick that up on his next recall and should definitely have a nice time versus this Set and Urgot, these 2 HP heavy members.
Yeah, Dragon's just dead. Bye.
See? Good. That's good. That's an appropriate call right there. You don't need to ramp up because you don't have time, right? It's like, and Dragon's just dead. Yep, cog. That's it.
Be able to pick that up on his next recall.
No, this is
and
that I
should
remember.
definitely
So
have a
I
nice
asked
time
Josh
ver-
too. So it's like, so within those moments, I feel as though, because what do I say after that then, right? Because then it's just a short play. Everyone just disperses. So should I just leave my voice and let my color take over? Should I really be taking over? Should
If you're
I
confident,
go on and continue transition?
if you're confident to continue the conversation. So if Rude Dude
versus
is
the
saying,
Renekton, working his way nicely toward that Blade of the Ruin King with those plates, with that kill, will easily be able to pick that up on his next recall and should definitely have a nice time versus this Set and Urgot, these 2 HP heavy members.
well, Rude, I'll tell you who's not having a good time. Dragon, because he just got solo killed for trying to take the blue buff away from TBA. And despite getting the smite out, he still goes down. And with that, Goo is going to have a nice advantage being able to pressure Rarick onto the top side of the map. They might even go for this dive. Cozy Shroud taking up some turrets. Goo actually tanking a little too much there. A little questionable on the play. And unfortunately for TBA, they have scuffed the dive. And then you just kind of run with it at that point.
Sorry, somebody was knocking at my door, but okay. Wow, that was a seamless transition without you even knowing what's gonna happen next. Well, shit. Okay.
You just
But
yeah.
but yes, I do see what you mean. That yet you yet again going, that yet again going back into the point of, one, be actively listening to your caller while also paying attention to what you want to say next, and two, of course, moderate the volume. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Will allow him to go and pick up a solo kill as he's going to get aggressive up on the tree as well. But Goo, Mage Towers are not your friend.
He tanks the turret for one extra shot, then he definitely can get away with. But that's fortunately an execute, so it's just a bit of a delayed recall effectively for the Lilia. Does mean that the Senna is, or it doesn't mean that the Senna's going to do anything, but the fact that the Senna actually gets a solo kill in a 1v2 on the bot side is absolutely disastrous for CCG. This Senna, who really needs to get punished and did get punished in the early game, got first blooded, remember. This Senna was, to all intents and purposes, out of the laning phase from level 2, but has somehow managed to get a 15 CS lead, get 3 kills for herself, one of them in a 1v2, is fully online.
Like, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And now
TP.
XRP is going to get a really low. He wishes the TP there on the backside. Bear comes in, but Senna is in prime grinding range. But we'll go ahead and let's get on with the murder. No! The Bear goes and gets at it again. Instead, it will be the Annie who gets put in the meat grinder. She's just a little girl, man.
That is going to be a nice little collapse, though, for
So this one, let's see, we're about 12 minutes into the game. Energy's like kind of okay. Or I think it's kind of appropriate. I think it's a little over, but you can
CCG.
Instead, go get a really low. He wishes the TP there on the backside. Bear comes in, but Senna is in prime.
Bear comes in with a TP. We'll flip over Exith. Bear comes in with a TP, cuts off Exithy's escape route. Meanwhile, WTJ is working with Exithy to route. Oh, I see. I saw Exithy was Plux. Bear comes in with a TP. Bear is going to cut off Plux's escape route. Meanwhile, WTJ gets a nice shutdown onto Glock all by himself, not even needing the help of his teammates, as Barrack gets the other one onto Plux. Bot lane of TB is down, and with the Rift Herald in hand, Dragon has an opportunity to take out the first turret here of the game. Continuing on. And even my energy level for this seems kind of low, but it's all about reserving, because now, unless it makes sense, where it's like, oh, well, this TP being burned for the two people on the bottom side of the map translates into first break advantage. So that's pretty massive for map control and for snowballing purposes, especially if a lot of the gold is going to Nidalee. But it's not the end of the world.
Hi, but you got to kill onto your own.
So the energy of your call was more along the lines of like they just got like a second or a third dragon off of a pretty big fight. Not a game defining fight, but just like, oh, this is a pretty big fight.
Got as well. Definitely not the worst case scenario for CCG, getting 2 free kills down on the bot side. They're going to use the Herald as well down here to break open the turret and hopefully get the first break in the bot lane. We see Renekton working on that top lane turret, but he just gets it in the top lane actually. First turret to the Renekton and the Herald charges a second too slow.
Honestly, I gotta say, I was definitely holding my breath as he gets it by a millisecond, which is absolutely amazing. But WTGD is gonna force off of the dragon, but there's 3 strong there on the bot side. Puts out all the little kitty cats, but he just dies pretty much at the end of the Lilia. Then we'll go ahead and get rooted up. But it looks like this dragon is definitely going to the side of TP.
All right, I actually have a question here and my other colleagues can answer. When it comes to skins, because Ravish is, using an alliteration or is painting the battlefield. He tries to send out the little kitty cats, but it comes out too late because he's referring to the fact that it's a Maokai skin and it's his ultimate. But if you're listening to that on a, like, let's say you don't see it and you're listening to it audio wise, does that really make sense? WTJ throws out his little kitty cats. Like, you know, it's Maokai. It's like, wait a second. What champion is that? Or like, what Maokai's kit throws out kitty cats? And then it's like, well, aren't the saplings kitty cats? So did he throw out saplings, or did he use his ultimate ability, Nature's Wrath? I do not cast for people who are not watching. That's completely fair. If you highlighted the skin prior, then yeah. Okay. I personally, I feel like the kitty cat's alliteration, like it's cute. I feel like the way you said it, because it was a stumble, I almost would have preferred if you just said WTJ tries to stall with his ultimate. Fortunately, it comes out a little too late. I don't think esports lends itself well to audio-only listeners. That's completely fair. It's not like an old-timey, traditional sports cast. I just wanted to kind of expand, like, parameters of what potential audiences would be. But
like I said before, this was definitely a very, very weak game in terms of my performance. But that's where we learned from. I find the most, I would say, because I'm not gonna go on the mid point.
2 Drakes for this double tier composition is going to be very detrimental. Package used.
Goes in, gets aggressive onto Exathy, dodging and weaving back and forth. The big Rocky will not get anybody at all, as the Pug is sad, but Exathy might be sadder because here's Goo yet again at the bot side, swings his staff to make the Ezreal disappear. A little bit of Wingardium Leviosa for him. But immediately the fight goes on a Brux. It's 2 damage to the face, but Glock in my lap is here as he shoots down the Nidalee.
Yeah, really nice little collapse. A 2 for 2 overall in
Wingardium Leviosa here. Oh, man.
that place.
2 damage to the face, but Glock in my bot side, swings his staff to make the Ezreal disappear. A little bit of Wingardium Leviosa for him.
Oh God, if the energy doesn't spike as hard, this is a really fun call, because that's fucking funny.
But immediately the fight goes on a Brux. It's 2 damage to the face, but Glock in my lap is here as he shoots down the Nidalee.
Yeah, really nice little collapse. A 2 for 2 overall in that play. So trade of kills going across either side. Goo still running for his life right here, trying to use the passive, but Beric might be able to chase him down.
Ooh, that was super close. That baby was about to become lunch for that Urgot.
I hear it was, and unfortunately the whiff on the ultimate. Nice little sidestep.
A lot of these alliterations and like references, this is the FGC casting in you, bro. I feel like League of Legends is chaining you down. You just want to pop in with all these references. You want to hit them with the "Omae wo mo shinderu." You want to splurge your anime knowledge. You want to splurge your pop culture.
There from Goo, he's able to take himself just about to safety this entire time, still on the top side. Cozy Shroud farming his way up on this Renekton. 141 CS, 13.5 minutes into the game. Beyond perfect CSing at this point.
I can hear Will in my head going, "Rude dude didn't play off the Harry Potter point. No." Hiya.
That's the Blade of the Ruin King. looking toward that Black Cleaver as well. And this set, who you can see has built up these, you know, tanky components, the Balmy Cinder, the Sunfire Cape, or the Bramble Vest rather. He's not going to really stand too much of a chance because, yes, you've got these nice tanky items, but you're up against the two biggest tank shredding items on the Renekton.
Yeah, and we're saying before how we wanted to see the Renekton get ahead. You know, they just shut down and he's 1-0, but like you're mentioning, with an item and a half building up towards the Black Cleaver as well, people can shred more and more of the armor. Now, I do want to point out something real quick here as well, here, Rude. 7-11.
I feel like if you're going to talk about items, you can just say Cozy Shroud already has the Blade of the Ruined King, looking to complete his Black Cleaver for that second power spike. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk about, yeah, he's going to look to shred that armor because...
Duh.
Yeah. Well, duh, but also, like, what does that add? Like, you saying, yeah, he's going to shred that armor. In fact, it's either you say he's looking to pick up the Black Cleaver, or you can say, with the second item power spike coming in, he's going to be shredding armor, you know? Because then it's like, oh, yeah, he's getting Black Cleaver.
This
definitely, I gotta say, goes back to the main point of what you were saying before, of me trying to find what I want to say mid-sentence, essentially. Like, essentially just stalling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And which I'm 1000% doing here, without a doubt.
And I've done that too. Every play-by-play has done it before.
Yeah.
You just that's why it's so important for you to be constantly proactively preparing what you want to talk about, what you want to say, because then you avoid the situations in mid-cast.
Which I definitely feel could have been, or for me, it can definitely be improved, in my opinion. Because with me, I think if I just definitely prep 1001%, like, you know, know more about the teams, the picks, the play styles, and 2, just game knowledge, honestly, which is because that's one thing now too. I personally haven't necessarily actively looked for, you know, new league casts, because I'm like, man, I don't know jack about these new items or how they play into the meta.
Convenience store chain here in America.
Let's keep going.
There's also the kill score here,
sir.
and the difference between these two teams. As we see,
Yeah,
because TBA yet again controlling the early game, which last game, if that's anything to say, it might be a little bit in their favor.
Yeah, again, and if we're gonna go off of the trajectory of other games, hold it.
As though Brush actually Brush will almost go once again gets popped. All the kitty cats will not lock to anybody at all. As Annie and Glock will go ahead and walk away from that fight, but Urgot almost getting popped in her tower.
Yeah, just about surviving there. Doesn't really have the resistance. Hold it.
As though Brush Brush will almost go once again gets popped. All the kitty cats will not lock to anybody at all. As Annie and Glock will go ahead and walk away from that fight, but Urgot almost getting popped in her tower.
Okay, cool. That was a stuttering, bumbling mess right there. Yes, I said literally nothing. That entire fight could have been 2 sentences. 1 sentence.
Yep. Yep.
Nothing happened.
Hey, but the good thing is you're starting to pick these things up before I even tell you, right? So then it goes to show that you're gonna be able to notice these things when you self-VOD review, because obviously you're not gonna always have someone to look at these for you. You need to be able to build the skills to be self-critical, self-analytical, and see how you can develop your own self.
Yeah, just about surviving there. Doesn't really have the resistances to deal with the Annie at this instance, who only has the Haunting guys right here, so he's dealing a little bit of magic damage with that penetration that it gives, but or rather the burn, or not even the burn, just the, you know, Haunting guys passive is what.
a rare occurrence where he's like, what does Haunting Guys do again? Oh shit. It's okay. This Haunting Guys doesn't even exist anymore, Rude. You're safe. Season 10 is over. Turn me off. Turn me off. I've been canceled.
It is. I know it's 15% magic penetration.
No. It's just a 10% damage amplifier. It for every second you're in combat, you get a stacking damage amp, 2% each second. So it goes up to 10.
Wait. So what does Oblivion Orb do?
Oblivion Orb is the straight up 15 flat.
I was thinking that. That's what I thought of, and that is L stupid. But as Josh said, I said it confidently, so
but it's okay because Oblivion Orb now doesn't give M-Pen, it just gives Grievous wounds, and it's 800 gold. So season 6, season 7. Was it only season 5? I feel like it was season 6. Ah, that's true.
What we'll say. And then we've got obviously Senna, who's pumping out fairly consistent damage at this point with the Serrated Dirk, with the Mana Immune. Doesn't have the Mirror Mana just yet, but just Ninja Tabbies. You're by no means tanky enough. Diving in the top side.
Flash already used for Koshi Strider though, but it is a 2v1 right now. The Koshi Strider pops the Dominus. He's able to get this. He gets the Ezreal too. Can he actually pull out the almost 3v1 at this point? Goes to sleep, ignited up. The heal is good, but the Urgot will grind him and takes some alligator meat as he's Australian there, mate. But good challenge on the Bronx. God.
Oh! Oh man, why aren't you an FGC caster, Ravish? I think that's your true calling, man. Like this.
I mean, lands are dead, Rafa.
Yeah, lands are
like
dead.
Will said.
But just no, but also like oh man, you gotta, especially if you're gonna say I know I said like when you come up with things they gotta be like off the top and they're witty, but it comes down to clarity as well, because like half of this call I barely understood. I only caught like
right now. Mana Immune doesn't have the Mirror Mana just yet, but just Ninja Tabbies. You're by no means tanky enough. Diving in the top side.
Flash already used for Koshi Strider though, but it is a 2v1 right now. The Koshi Strider pops the Dominus. He's able to get this. He gets the Ezreal too. Can he actually pull out the almost 3v1 at this point? Goes.
Yeah, it's like in and out. I'm like hearing words, and others I'm just hearing like. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just hearing mumbling because you are getting excited, which is completely fine. At least your tone is reflecting something, but I'm losing clarity and like what
not
you're
even
saying.
Not even I can really understand what in the Sam hell I'm saying right now. I can't no.
Yeah. Also, this Will brings up a good point. Got to keep those references spread out, because you are like injecting them into almost every single call. Like you got otherwise it like think of it this way. If the special thing you bring to the table is like these witty references, you got to treat it like cake. Everybody likes cake, but everyone doesn't want cake 24/7, because what happens is the value of that cake becomes diminishes, and it's no longer special, right? You got to save the cake for the special moments. That way it's like, oh my god, what a fantastic call. Also, hello Thousand Eyes, welcome. Over-enunciate as hell was one lesson I had to learn. I was just telling Ravish that earlier.
Yes, it is 1000%. This is
put power into the words that are important. Yep. 100% correct.
Would you mind if I did that fight again, Rob?
Sure.
But just Ninja Tab.
Just give me a second as I try to just switch out the screen because it is very pixelated on.
Yeah, I will
the
be your
Discord
color
screen share.
caster.
Sure thing.
Cozy Shroud is here chilling in the top lane, and he is going to go for a dive. He flashes.
Yeah, he flashes too, going all in onto the Ezreal, but there's the Nidalee as well. He's fighting a 2v1. He pops the dominance at the bottom of the shield, but the center ult isn't even needed because he actually gets the outplay as well. But here comes the Maokai to try to even up the scapes. He still gets the heal, but right on the back end, Urgot will come and clean it up. But Ernect still gets the double, and then at the back as well, the screen pixel that I can't exactly see. Oh, now I can finally see as Lilia will get ulted back in and flashes over the wall and she'll stay alive.
Okay, so the intro kind of transition, you repeated what I said. I'll take the blame on that one because I didn't transition fast enough for you.
Sure.
The first half of that cast was actually not too bad because you slowed down and the clarity was definitely better than the call that we heard in the original. And then you started stumbling or started blurring your words together near the end. I guess as you were trying to figure out how to say goo escaping over the wall as Lilia.
Oh no, I just couldn't tell what was happening because our Discord screen share it is pixels, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Why,
understandable.
which is why I said that like I can't tell what's happening, and then yeah, because I can't see what's happening. It is literally 144p.
Okay, that's what you said because I heard da. I can't tell what's happening. You know what? In that situation, here, let me tell you. So we're gonna go back to, I guess, the moment. Snipe comes in from Urgot. Barrack will run him down, and Strela, I can't tell what's happening. Goo makes it out alive. Bam. Just as soon as you can't tell, just like put a little emotion into it. I can't tell what's happening. Oh, well, Goo makes it out alive. You just be adamant about it. It's like, this is gonna be close. Goo makes it out alive.
Okay, it's Thousand actually had a really solid point, and you are 1,000% correct. Yeah, because remember, Roth was also raising that earlier too. Was don't be afraid of like that space. Like let yourself breathe for a second. Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. Just but the biggest thing that you did that was better than the original is just not feeling like you need to be fast. It's all about control. Keeping a steady pace. Steady, consistent pace is better than trying to be fast and then losing clarity.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go ahead and make Discord screen share as the main, so I can make sure to see this. So,
wait.
Jungle right there. Dragon and Goo both walking away with literally double-digit HP in the end of that, and neither of them do fall. So at the end of the day, I mean, no bounties given over, but the Smite Savior for Dragon keeps him alive in that little 1v1 on the top side of the jungle. And now we're starting to look toward the Dragon. We've got 53 seconds before that one spawns up, and it is going to be the Ocean Soul here, so a much higher impact soul if TBA are able to pick that one up for themselves. They get that, then they will be in a much better position to close out this game. Maybe start looking toward the Baron, start looking at the nails in the coffin, not just for the game here, Ravish, remember, but for the series. TBA 2-0 up, and with this nearly 6,000 gold lead, rather, they are going to be in a great spot to close it out.
And it seems like right now, Rude, all the momentum is just in their favor. Everything is working all towards them as WTGD is going to pop the ultimate, but really it's going to be so close. He gets to heal back from the Nidalee. But there's a stun onto 2. The tree is dead. The forest fire cannot be contained. And the jungle as well will be wiped out on the side. But still, double kill coming for the Lily of the traffic corner in the middle of 3. You will die as well. It will only able to get 1 back. At the end of it, resulting in a 3 for Wolf on the side of TBA, and the Dragon is theirs as well. That's sole point.
And it's face checking bushes.
The way you transition out from, or the way you transition in from Rude was actually really good, because it's at first I was about to slap your wrist because it sounded like one of those confirming statements, but you were actually just continuing the conversation naturally. You got into the call. The call started out fine,
Mhm.
and it was slowed down. And it's just once you started speeding up, I'm just like losing what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so
I am as well, which I'm shocked people keep asking me to cast at this point after hearing this.
Now, Ravish, your personality is a big selling point, and your energy and your infectious energy is hard carrying you a lot of times. And I've already explained this to you as a desk analyst as well. When I saw the Risen cast, it's like that there's no prepared content for this desk. It's literally just Jack and Ravish like doing stand-up improv comedy and just trying to think of shit on the fly to stall for time. And then Paul will occasionally come in when he can try and pitch something for you guys to talk about until the draft comes up, right? So, and honestly, when you're starting out as an amateur caster, sometimes that's enough to get you places, because foundations and fundamental mechanics like this can always be taught, which is why we're going through them and why you can I have confidence that with enough practice, this can be ironed out, right? Whereas your personality is something that cannot be taught. You can't, because you can't force it. You can't fake it. Because if you do, people will know, and it's not genuine. It's not sincere. It's of this fake persona. So,
Yes, sir.
just be confident in the fact that you are, at heart, a very funny dude, a very happy dude, and that energy is enough that people will want to see you and interact with you, right? So now you just got to polish this stuff up. You just, like, you've got a really nice car. You've already got a nice engine. You just got to, like, fine-tune all the little quirks and gears so that everything runs smooth. It already looks good. It sounds good. But now you just got to make sure it's running efficiently and you're optimizing it.
Yes, sir. All right.
Before the
Walk as well
before the objectives have spawned, that is costing CCG once again here. Cost them game number 1, and it's going to cost them this Ocean Drake right here. Nice little pickup, nice little brush bait by Plux and Goo. Using this double AP duo to take down these tanks, these heavy armor resistance champions. Set so far has absolutely zero magic resist and is going to get absolutely pummeled under the weight of a Leandries and the Lilia right there. So they're just playing the vision game, playing the macro game so incredibly well. Now an 8,000 gold lead, nearly double the kill score, 3 dragons in their favor, and it feels like with just a few more minutes here, this should be TBA series to close out.
That it most definitely could be. Now, this is what we like to call
on the
the
wrist.
chess here made as the end game, right?
Yep.
Now, all the pawns are in place. The knights are taken down. The mid side, it is just now really up to the queen to be able to put the king in check, to force them back into a corner, whereas they can come in and strike straight for the heart.
Okay.
That was 2 references, and none of them made sense.
Cool. So, yeah, because the chess reference, like, I see where you're trying to go for, but like we said about whenever you're trying to be witty, if you're gonna come in with these references, they've got to be smooth. They've got to be practiced. They've got to be refined, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ideation is there, and the mind is there. So, in theory, that could be a powerful reference point. We're at the end game now for CCG. TBA have already taken out the rooks, which people in chess are gonna be like, "Yep, they took out the turrets." The queen is on her last legs, and TBA's offense are pushing into the heart of CCG's base. One more wrong misstep from CCG, and it's checkmate. Boom. Just you can go back and pick out these references, and then on your own time, not before a cast, not on the day of a cast, Just when your time and there's no pressure, no one's like hunched over you and telling you, okay, you need to write it like this. Just workshop it. Workshop, how would you say this better? How would you condense it better? These are times when, like, you know, when I talk about, like, a thesaurus is your caster's best friend, it's because when I, like, when I used to go through VOD reviews and I would, like, think about how could I say something better or how could I condense something, I would, like, I didn't write it out, but I would just do it in my head and I would say it out loud. It's like, okay, I said Renekton goes for the killing blow under the turret. Okay, how can I say this better? How can I say this differently? Renekton slays Urgot in the tower. No, I don't like that. Renekton rips Urgot to shreds. You know, that's kind of cool. Slices and dices him. Renekton hits him with the Kimbo slice and dices out. Like, it, you know, you just keep playing. And then the more ideas you play with in your mind, if you're conscious about it, those ideas, even if it doesn't, like, work on that one, that idea might come up for a later cast. And you could be like, oh yeah, I remember I said Kimbo slice, dice, you know. Oh, for Hecarim, you know, it's Rainbow Dash, especially if he's using the arcade Hecarim skin. Rainbow Dash coming in with a Stampede. Fucking Captain Flowers with Jax. Helicopter Dick coming in hot, you know? Like, I mean, you can't say Helicopter Dick on a professional stream, but still, like.
Boy, do I wish you could.
I'm going to look to do that.
I was gonna say here, Rudy, if you don't play chess, man, I'm sorry, because that must make no sense to you. Yeah, bye.
If you don't play chess, that made no sense. Don't go back on your reference there. Just continue. It's in the past. It's
yeah. I don't even.
I'll say.
I mean, like, I think I was making a joke, or like what I thought it was, and then I decided to, but now it sounds. Pain.
Young Mid, aka Chad Thundercock, styling on the enemy team. That's a banger call right there.
That's a Captain Flowers call.
But I feel like everybody's sort of at that point now. Young getting engaged.
Yeah, I mean, it goes onto tower, though. He shouldn't be able to live at all out of this. Meanwhile, mid side, we're seeing CCG go and get something back for themselves. But so good little pickup onto Young Mid, but this Herald should go to get a second charge onto the Nexus turret here, Rude. It's only 19 minutes of the game, and the base being broken open as Straffa pops the face breaker, gets out with a shield. It's looking rougher and rougher.
Yeah, I mean, Plux is taking 1v1s with the mid laner right here as Annie and coming out in an advantageous position. And yes, we have to remember that CCG did get that kill down on the bot side, but what did it cost them here? It cost them the mid lane tier 2 and a charge on their inhibitor turret in the mid lane as well. You know, that crucial turret protecting your base, now severely weakened, and yes, it will regen up, but very slowly here. And we reach the 20-minute marker now. Baron is a threat. Corki has those 2 items, nearly completed the Mirror Mana as well, so we'll be in a position to start DPSing down that big purple worm here. And now we've got that nearly 10,000 gold lead. This is constantly growing here. Yes, the kill happens in the bot lane, but the gold lead still goes the way of TBA after the fact. Just a few more minutes now before it feels like this entire series will be over.
Honestly, yeah, it's just looking just tougher and tougher for them. And at this point, if I look at the lane states too, it's like a 1-2 game fight, but Stratford yet again caught on the wrong side. He's the middle of 2, the bear goes and slows down. A couple of laners from the side of TBA, but Young Mid comes in, Dawn and Shadow poked him down out, and Cozy goes in the middle of 3, doesn't get the stun, but they're all drowsy, they're all sleeping, and they dream of death as Freddy Krueger will slice and dice, and Frosty will just be left yet again. He's the Ezreal. He'll try to go ahead and get away. We'll be so lucky to do so as he tells the tale of his team's destruction.
Up until the Ezreal getting away, call was for the most part pretty solid. I think
I could have ended it like right as running away. There was anything to extend that.
Yeah, you could have. I think you just also ran out of things to say once the Ezreal escaped because it was evident in your fumble.
Yep.
And so when you start fumbling, slow down. Just slow down, and you can like just continue raising your pitch or the making your tone more and more wide. Something I also want you to keep in mind when you're making calls. I don't know what your like mouth shape is like, so I'll bring up the main screen here so that you can see. But when you are casting, when you're talking in general, there is a difference between, I'm going to look at the phrase, gotta cast with me and beat down and we make it weeb as fuck. Chill, I can't go too obscure with it. Gotta cast with me and beat down and we make it weeb as fuck. Chill, I can't go too obscure with it. I only changed one thing, and one thing only. Wasn't volume, wasn't tone. It was the shape of my mouth.
Yeah.
When your mouth is closed like this, and then if you start increasing the speed of what you're saying things, it's harder to get things out. When you smile, and I know it's cringe, but you gotta smile because you want that mouth to be open and wide, because then naturally I'm not even changing the volume, but me smiling and opening up my mouth, I naturally sound louder because there's more resonance that is coming from my mouth. I am basically enlarging the, I guess, speaker sound that is coming. And that's also why when we go back to standing up and engaging our full core, and then, obviously you can't see because you're only seeing my stomach, but if your mouth is open wide and you're engaging your core, you don't even need to necessarily raise your volume because you are just engaging more resonance and you're enlarging the natural speaker and the diaphragm of that your cast is coming from.
Yeah. Talk about anime and games and anime games. Talk about anime and games and anime games.
See?
Yeah. So, the Ravishing Walk Boulevard, new podcast idea. The Ravishing Walk Boulevard, a new podcast idea. Yep. Yeah, it is a immediate difference with, although it sounds very deliberate with how I'm trying to enunciate my words, but at least things come out clearly.
I mean, it's still on you to enunciate more often, but opening up your mouth and smiling is just a fantastic way to already change up and increase your tone and your clarity.
Yeah, would you also recommend standing up and doing so? Because that's one method I've been looking to try to set up for myself as well, just so if I can somehow set up my webcam to do so, because it just seems better.
It is. I'm telling you. And now that you have an arm, you can always position your mic upwards, and then all you got to do is just you tilt your Logitech webcam up, and you're coming in, and you're just like, and good morning, Risen Esports, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ravishing Ravish, the Gravish Can. I don't even know how if my impersonation of you is even accurate. That's brazy, brother. That's brazy.
I mean, when I was doing your wrestling intro this morning, then yes.
Hola, senor.
Like, yes, if I go in and stand up and do it, it would be just very different as the, because even when I stand and do it, I can feel my entire chest expanding. So you really want to go in and go down, weighing in at 125 pounds, senior R&B there. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you're also destroying your microphone because you're right on top of it, but that's fine because I can still tell in your tone, your voice sounds so much more open when you do
Yeah.
that. And that just sounds healthier overall. So you naturally just sound more confident. So Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You don't want to miss this.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Oh my God, what's happening Sunday?
Sunday is the day of the reckoning. Your judgment will be coming for all of you. If you watch this, you will die in 7 days.
I'm just kidding.
I'm scared. But that's still so sick. Ravishing Ravish really wants to enunciate what Will is willing right now as he reads this chat and Rafa's chat. And Amy is out. Cool.
Right.
Definitely is the case. We're 21 minutes in. There are 3 kills going the way of TBA, and right now they're looking toward that Baron buff. Cozy in left in a 1v2, and I honestly think they can take this.
I mean, Cozy goes for a little bit longer time, but Dragon Man, oh my God, man. You were saying they're diving in without any vision, and all of it is just going so wary. Things are getting hairy, and if I was CCG, I'd be scared.
I would be very much terrified right here, right now, Ravish. The Baron is likely going to go down. The Urgot is there. Fear Beyond Death not available, though. Goo is likely going to be able to get this and get them out.
Like, he's going in the middle of 3. The Exity's there as well. He dives out the bear looking for the steal. Goo has a smite, nobody pops him out before he even needs to go to get the smite. With the Urgot dead, WGD goes in. Has the ultimate, but he just doesn't put out the damage. AP Maokai doesn't have those tank strats. And XT just a bit too close to cover. You are an ADC, you know that, right?
That's funny. You know, something I notice, and maybe this is just universal for all casters, but you know, when me and Dimitri don't get a chance to warm up, our game 1 is pretty. It's. But then near the tail end of game 1, we're like warming up, and it's like, okay, our calls are getting better, and then by game 2, we're just like. Yeah, it was good. But this is game 3. So you've already you had some time. But still, I can tell that near late game, that's when your calls feel definitely more appropriate and they seem more controlled. There's still some slip ups. There's still some parts where you just kind of blur your words together, but for some reason, late game your calls sound better than your early game calls. And I think that just comes to your natural tendency to want to call is you want to be hype, and you want to just cast a lot of things that are happening. That is your natural tendency. So you kind of have to fight that as you're going forward and doing future casts, or looking to self-review casts, mainly in the early and mid game.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to clean that up, then the late game casting will also be polished as a side effect. Or as a result.
Cannot be frontlining as that Ezreal, unfortunately, and slightly mismanaged engages coming through.
Hang on, someone's challenging me. And Mark, call Amy and speak to her in your devil voice.
Hello, Amy Joy. I know where you live. I've been to your house. I know where to find you. I know where you sleep. There is nowhere that you can hide from me. I will find you.
I'm scared for her.
Amy, can you ooh to me in that voice?
Yo, can you? Wait, well, no, not just ooh. It's like I can come over. Ooh.
Oh, Amy-chan, can I come over? Ooh.
It was too much for the camera.
That's so good.
Oh my lord.
I fucking love that.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit. Wait a minute. Jeff first of all, is no longer Jeff Great Gamer, Jeff Pog Player. He has evolved, and he has subscribed for 18 months in a row. You're legal now. Well, congratulations, Jeff, and thank you for being continuing to be our longest time supporter here on the Raw family, bro. I love you, Jeff. Someone clip it. I need a permanent copy of that. Oh my lord. Jesus.
From CCG putting
God.
down those final nails in the coffin right there. The Baron goes to TBA. They get an extra 3 kills on the top of it. And now with the 14,000 gold advantage that they've got, they should be able to put themselves firmly into the finals of the FCS.
Like they most definitely should. Everything is singing in their favor here, Rude. Now we're talking about it before throughout the entire time. XT even said it, it's like he was confident going into it. They had a lot coming in their back pocket, and they were looking to go to clear up the series. Honestly, the prediction was 3-1, but at this point, they might go and take the clean 3-0. CCG. Now, if I'm looking at it, Rude, give me final predictions here. If you are Crystal K Gaming, how do you come back into this? How do you extend this game?
You have to keep looking for picks with numbers advantages, but Young is looking for a play.
Speaking of the picks, though, might go on to the package. Obviously, massive cuts of WTGD in the fire, stronger than the tree. He goes aggressive in the middle of 2, but it doesn't matter because he's just so strong. And everybody from the side of CCG is gonna get popped. They can put up no contest at all. You were saying the support Annie is being able to take down the mids and the ADCs on the side of CCG, and Barrett has to back away. Guchao takes it. That is Soul, and this likely will be the game upcoming very, very soon.
Yeah, see how when you slow down, you're able to enunciate your words there, and it's so much better. So your challenge is next time you cast, if you catch yourself trying to speed up, slam that brake. You just be like, slow down. Slow down. You got think of it this way, Ravish, and this is gonna be a little not safe for work, but if you're every time you cast,
yes, sir.
you are being intimate. You don't want to rush it. You want to take things slow. You want to enjoy the moments. You've got a luscious, deep, very raspy voice. Let us enjoy that. Choose your words carefully. Make sure that each word you choose is a banger word, so that we are enjoying the moments that you are and us, Ravish. Like, you just take it slow, baby. Just like John Legend. We should take it slow with just ordinary people. Just come on, man. Just
I love that song. Yes,
yeah.
I understand.
Just take it slow. Oh.
Yeah, the Ocean Soul, the Baron, everything that TBA could possibly hope for to close out this game is in their back pockets right now. They've got the Baron buff, they've got themselves a wave in the bot lane. Sadgu's pushing mid lane as well, and Young is just pushing farming for that damage in the end of the game.
Yeah, he wants to go instead of leads a little bit more. Wants to pad his stats because he knows he's been absolutely fantastic throughout this entire series. The spears will land, but they just don't have the damage. And TBA from domination from start to finish through game 1, 2.
Hey, I remember this. This was on the trailer.
Yeah. It's and 3 holding an absolute stranglehold from in this game, especially not giving Crystal Cave a chance to breathe, having all the momentum on their side. The set will make the last-ditch effort, but the next in the target, we see Erga trying to grind, but with no meat will be had today. Everybody's vegetarian, and TBA will take.
Everybody's no grind today because everybody's vegetarian. God, like. See, it's just like, imagine if you just slow down and let us enjoy those. Because you're like trying to squeeze in too many things.
Yeah.
You're giving us too much, too fast. Just, it's funny. Just
the series and move on to the finals.
They're going to get themselves that beautiful spot.
Okay. Rafa will send this clip to your next girlfriend. Wait, what clip? The can I come over? Oh God. Okay. I'll keep that in mind, that is potential blackmail. I may just have to tell her myself that, so that at least she knows it's coming from me and not I don't even know. Moving on.
In the FCS finals, going up against another formidable opponent
I'm just gonna send that clip to everyone in Tinder DM. Holy shit.
for themselves.
Think of doing any evening blocks at the moment. I'm not thinking about it, but depending on how scheduling opens up, I may consider it, because I prefer the afternoons and I prefer having evenings for working on homework but once we get to December, my schedule will open up much more often. It's just that there are other things that might be happening that I need to make sure that I'm available for, but I will keep you posted. Just what you can do, Axe, is go to community feedback and then just kind of leave it here as like, would there, just tell me like what times are like preferred, just so that like, because when you say evening, I don't know if that's like 8 p.m. EST or 12 p.m. EST, so like, and then that way I can kind of communicate with other casters who are on the list as well. It's like, hey, by the way, would these evening blocks be better than afternoon blocks? So I'm gonna take the day off, I swear to God. You don't need to do that. I mean, we live in the same. I know we live in the same time zone. I don't know why I'm just so fucking used to having to calculate everything in EST or PST, because I mean, you know what it is, Axeman. Mountain time doesn't fucking matter to anyone else in esports, unfortunately. Like, at least even Central Time is slightly more important than Mountain Time is.
This is.
But
true.
at the end of the day, it was a valiant effort by CCG. Commiserations to them and congratulations to TBA, because that third game was definitely something that.
So like after 5 Mountain Time, okay.
Was better than we've seen from them in times gone by.
It was definitely the shortest game out of the series too, because you saw as well. I found TBA with just a quick note. 3.
So, let's review what your notes are, Mr. Ravish. So,
yes, sir. Oh, and I remember one note too was a big thing which we forgot to mention. So what happened as well is that during this, I believe it was the third game or the second game, I saw Josh and Smacks were in chat. Like, I remember because like within break, I saw they were there, and then immediately I got nervous. I'm like, fuck. I'm performing in front of. I see my peers are watching me. I must perform.
You know what? You know what's a wonderful answer to that, Ravish? Don't fucking look at Twitch chat.
Yes, sir.
It, like, normally we tell you don't look at Twitch chat because of, trolls and haters that might, say mean shit. But also, don't change up your cast because peers or certain celebrities are watching, right? You can be let known afterwards, because there are times when we faced it, we're casting, and then suddenly, if I had Twitch chat on, I would have known that, like, LS's entire fan base had just come in, or LS just rated Face It with like 10K people, or when Papa Smithy is watching casts, Endercast is watching stuff. Don't let like, you should always just be performing at a certain level. So don't change it for anyone else, or don't feel pressured because anyone in particular is watching. Just perform how you would always perform. And so, like, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, well, if I have to perform like every time Papa Smithy is watching me or someone is watching me, I need to always be professional. No, just be you, but be the best version of you,
Yeah, that was again, real dumb thing I did. which I have learned from. So I just don't want a Twitch chat open.
Yeah.
And I usually never do. I don't know what this time I did.
Twitch chat usually really doesn't serve a purpose for casters. The only time
No,
it does is if you're the primary streamer and you're
Yeah.
like hosting something, a tournament where you are like the purpose of the cast and the content is to interact with the community in the chat. And those are really
Yeah.
good for like whenever you do gigs for community streamers, which is why like when you cast for Tarzan's Discord or when you did, that is like one of the few times when it's like, you know what? It's fine to open Twitch chat because you can meme with the chat, right?
That is one instance I made sure to Twitch chat off the whole time. No, sir. That was
I mean, yeah.
no.
I like it's best to not, but like that moment is like passable.
Yeah, 1,000%. But I do understand your point.
So it is what it is.
Twitch chat is like mountain time.
It's not real. Twitch chat can't hurt you, Ravish. Don't let it
You are
hurt you.
right. But let us review Raw Father.
Yeah. So you need to just like overall you need to slow down. Just don't worry about speed.
Yeah.
Worry about clarity, enunciation, your pronunciation. Think about proactively, be thinking about what you're going to be saying next while keeping an active ear for what your color caster is saying, right? Keep your references to a minimum. Save them.
Yep.
Save them for certain moments. Don't use them.
This is-
Don't. And when you're trying to be witty with them, don't force them. You need to be proactively think about how this will come up in a situation. Like, if you're making a joke about, you know, something about Renekton, Crocodile Hunter. Oh man, the set's putting on his best Steve Irwin impersonation. He's gonna lasso that crocodile, turn him into boots and belt. You know, it's just gotta be smooth. It's gotta be smooth. Hulk out.
Yeah.
Hulk out.
Okay.
fucking Sky.
The fucking Sky with it, bro. Yeah.
He's gonna put his. We're going down under. Hulk out. Put some shrimp on the bobby. Yeah, that shit's got to be quick though. For real. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, Hawk out.
That's good.
So, keep references to a minimum. Slow down. Take it slow with calls. Focus on clarity and enunciation.
Yeah.
Make sure you're warming up daily.
Yes.
Just work on those tongue twisters. Work on those. In fact, I'm gonna send you a website link that I have of like other tongue twisters that I just have.
No, please do, sir.
And then remember, the idea is not about speed. It's about how consistent you can be, varying speed. So you're keeping consistent the clarity and the enunciation in your voice as you go from slow and then you get slightly faster. But if you can't go too fast without losing clarity, then don't go too fast. Just there's a maximum that you can go, but just make sure that you're always being consistent. So if like, you know, for example, we have one of our tongue twisters here. Three free throws. 3 free throws. And then vary up the tone. 3 free throws. 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 Like, you just, if you can't get faster, then just vary the tone. You know, interlace different cadences, rhythms, and how you want to say it. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought I thought. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought I thought. and just you just build it up from there. Build it up from there.
Yeah. There was one I remember you were doing it right at the beginning that where you said that these are some of the ones you have memorized, which I remember I wanted to remember say back because that shit was bloody impressive. Because I remember it was like 2 words that you just repeated back and forth. You were just like ta da ta da ta da ta da ta da.
Oh, Topeka. So that one that is something that I picked up in theater in high school, and so we like every time we would come into the space. We would start off Topeka, bodega, 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 Topeka, bodega, Topeka. If you want me to write it down,
I already did.
Yep. There you go. Topeka, bodega, 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 Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, 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 Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka, bodega, Topeka. So, like over time, you just build that up because it's practice and consistency.
Or do Duckworth's part in Giants true?
Do the Duckworth's part in Giants? Bet. All right. Well, this is the end of the VOD review.